right, guys, today we are going to be taking a look at alternate arts. That's right, Pokemon TCG is now full of Pokemon alternate arts. There are more and more with every set. Crown Zenith is going to completely destroy us with alternate arts, but yet we are seeing tremendous gains on these particular cards. And today we're going to take a look at the reasons why. So guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and as always, hit that like button. We get 100 likes on this video. Of course, you guys do fantastic at that to keep us moving forward. But today, we're also going to remind you, we have the giveaway going on, and there are polls out there right now. There'll be a second one going out now to find out what you guys want during this giveaway. Of course, I'm going to be putting together some items for you guys that you guys are requesting for the giveaways to try and build that little cash up for you. Of course, we're already have the Charizard UPC as one of the items that's going to be in this giveaway. Looks like right now by the polls that I put out today, we're going to be seeing the Hidden Fates tin coming in as another item. Tomorrow, I'm going to put up another 2 items that you guys can choose from that you may want to add to your personal collections or as a good value to the members of this community. So once again, be sure you keep up with those polls. It's very helpful for me in order to be able to get you what you guys want. Once again, it's for you guys for supporting me through this time and to get us up to where we are today as we get closer to that 2,500 subscribers. So if you are new here, be sure you hit that subscribe so that you get in on this information and have some fun with the giveaways and on the channel. So now, today we're going to be talking about alternate arts. Now, alternate arts are a very interesting situation. We saw them come in battle styles, and I love the alternate art idea. I mean, we had them back in Cosmic Eclipse, and they moved forward back into the current era. Once again, they were a good addition. They're really cool cards. They're really cool imagery this time. The graphics and the artistry on these cards are fantastic. They stand out in your Pokemon collection, and I like a lot of them because they actually stand out as, you know, Pokemon in real situations versus just them being on their flat backgrounds and kind of just on a card. It makes it feel like they're actually in a real-time place. So that makes a really good point for collectors to want these cards in their collections to complete, you know, evolutions or Charizards or Mewtwo's and Mews. All of these things, Gengar collectors are going to want these cards, so they're very, very hot items. And when we watch these cards get released, originally you'd always see, just like we do with anything in the Pokemon TCG, these cards would kind of come out, they'd fly up before the release. As the release would happen, as some of these collectors and distributors were selling these things early and getting them out in the markets, it would be extremely expensive. We'd watch that roller coaster come down, we'd see it go down to a bottom, and then they'd kind of plateau and kind of come up maybe a little bit. And then they would continue to move forward at a slow rate upwards or just kind of stay neutral at that point. But now, in the last couple months, at least 6 weeks now, we have been seeing several, and I mean several different alternate arts starting to make some very big movements in the upwards directions. Now, as we said, that could be indicators that some of these older alternate arts, people are starting to go back for them. People finally realize what's inside of these sets. People are really looking for what's going to be coming up if they can complete their sets while the pricing is right. And that could also be a reason for booster box prices to start going in that upward direction, right? As the demand continues to go out, with more and more people wanting these cards, and those values continue to increase, people have a tendency to try and chase more of those cards, which means more booster boxes will be opened. As more booster boxes get opened, of course, there'll be slower supply of the booster boxes, and thus the price will continue to move up. It's just a natural progression of how supply and demand works, right? That's what we look for. Now, the real question is why are alternate arts starting to move up at such a vigorous rate? I mean, some of these are already over a year old and they really didn't do much, right? They just kind of sat around. Even Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, all these ones just kind of sat and did nothing. And now we're seeing some very good movement on all of them. And I think the number one reason that we're seeing this is that we have a good market for alternate arts. I think almost everybody in the Pokemon TCG has bought in that these are the cards from Sword and Shield that everybody's going to want. Anybody that was slacking on it now has finally bought in that this is going to be the card to chase. And number two, I think the other part of it is people are realizing how difficult it is to actually find some of these alternate arts and sets. I can tell you right now, I've opened a ton of battle styles and I still have not gotten all of the alternate arts. I've got the Sleepy Tyranitar. I have not pulled the single stripe or rapid strike Urshifu alternate art out of there. I'm still missing that V, and it's a beautiful card, and I really do want that for my collection. And I've been putting it off purchasing it because I'd rather spend my money other places because that card hasn't moved. Now we're seeing movement in that card. So is now the time to jump on that and try and get it for my collection and maybe buy a couple more. I mean, that might be the decision that we need to make as these cards continue to move forward, unless we start seeing a large supply of these starting to come back from booster boxes. But as of right now, we're seeing that in, of course, Battle Styles. We're seeing it in Chilling Reign. The Moltres is making a huge move. Blaziken's starting to move up really hard and heavy right now. We can also go through some of the smaller ones that were kind of forgotten, like the Galarian Rapidash. All of a sudden, that alternate art is also making an upward movement. So we're seeing it on a lot of these fan favorite Pokemon. A lot of these alternate arts are all doing the exact same thing. And I think that we're going to continue to see this movement moving up. Number one worry that I have is that these are people starting to really spend some money on these alternate arts. These are people that are really starting to go for a buyout on these subjects, and they are really starting to try and get that community going and get them inflated prices. They're buying huge quantities of them. They're spreading them out through several sales, and they're trying to make it inconspicuous so that the price doesn't jump on them. But I feel that some people might be purchasing quite a few of these, or groups might be starting to purchase quite a few of these because they're realizing and bought in that, hey, these cards are going to be doing fantastic because of their harder pull rates, their fan favorite status, and collectors are going to want these cards as time goes on, and do now. A lot of collectors do want these currently. So that's going to be a huge thing when it comes down to these alternate arts in the future, and we're seeing it in Brilliant Stars. Now, I'm getting a lot of questions from people. Is Brilliant Stars going to be getting a reprint? And I don't know. With Sword and Shield, or Sword and Shield been announced by Pokemon is going to stay at its current MSRP, but Scarlet and Violet is going to raise the MSRP on all the products inside of that particular set. That is going to be a game changer when Pokemon makes decisions on printing. They're always going to chase the bigger dollar number, and if Scarlet and Violet is more expensive and they can make more profit margin on that by moving that MSRP up, they may not reprint many of these Sword and Shield sets, even though we're kind of expecting it. Number two, the other reason I'm really questioning Brilliant Stars is Pokemon still has a pretty good stash of this, guys. If you go right on to their Pokemon website right now, and you look at Pokemon Center and you put in Brilliant Stars, you can get every single product that they've put out except for the cardboard sleeve blisters. That's the only thing you can't buy. That's just crazy that there's that much stock still available on Pokemon Center. Most other things were sold out fairly quickly within the first 4 months or 5 months of it being released, and Brilliant Stars has not had that situation. It's continuing to keep stock. Evolving Skies, gone. I mean, there are some Fusion Strike items still left on there, like ETBs are still available. Astral Radiance, all the other ones are still have pretty good stocking on the Pokemon Center, but Evolving Skies still is just cranking it out with the product. This Pokemon just can't put enough of it out. So personally, I think if I was going to put my money on a reprint first, it'd be Evolving Skies again. And it's really going to depend on the performance of Scarlet and Violet. Sorry. If Scarlet and Violet performs really well and Scarlet and Violet base set takes off, let's say the first expansion in the Scarlet and Violet takes off, as those sets continue to maybe do well, what's the incentive for Pokemon to go back into Sword and Shield and continue to do the reprints even of the newest sets? So we might be in a situation like we saw coming in from Sword and Shield from Sun and Moon, where they cancel, Tag Team. They cancel Unified Minds. They do a smaller one of, Unbroken Bonds, and they completely cut out the Cosmic Eclipse mid-print. They just say, hey, why are we doing this when we can go into the newer product that's hotter? People want it. People are really looking for it. Now, the other side of this is that Pokemon does know that Brilliant Stars is a playable set. If that stock starts getting low and it's still a competitive set and there's still a lot of that you can use in tournament play, even in Scarlet and Violet, we may be seeing reprints end because there's an incentive for them to reprint that when they're out on Pokemon Center. It becomes more difficult to get. They always seem to work for the meta and get those cards printed for them for playability. So that's another reason that we might see it. But once again, I still think the Pokemon Center has a lot of stock available, and there's no rush. They're in no rush to reprint this. So once again, just one of those things that will Brilliant Stars get it? I don't know. As it goes for the alternate arts, especially a Charizard alternate art, yeah, the price has dropped on that one, and a lot of newer sets have. But a lot of the older sets now we're seeing movement in the upward direction. And once again, as sets get older, people might be realizing, hey, there's no reprints coming. If I want these alternate arts, we got to jump on them right here, right now, and grab them before they're gone or before these prices continually go up to an even higher level that becomes unaffordable for me to be able to get these. So once again, guys, these are kind of the options we have right now. That's what you're kind of looking at when it comes down to what's happening with alternate arts. They are going kind of crazy on some of the older ones. Yes, some of the newer sets that are still being opened and being used, like Silver Tempest, they're going to drop. I mean, it's just natural for that to happen on the newer sets. But even like the Machamp or the top performing alternate arts in most of the sets from Astral Radiance back are moving in the upward direction, which tells me that people are starting to try and get these cards, or B, there's buyouts happening. Now, one thing I'm going to mention right here in the video, if you did make it this far into the video, go to Pokemart's Discord. I'll put the link down below where you can join into it. We're doing a little bit of fun. They're doing a live stream here coming up on Black Friday, and they're going to be doing a buyout of Pokemon Steam Siege, XY Steam Siege, of all of the secret rares, ultra rares, and all that higher. They're going to buy everything that they can on Toad and Troll and on, of course, TCG Player. So they're going to be purchasing everything they can off of those two sites to see what will incur in this market when they do so. So it's kind of a meme. It's an experiment. It's going to be kind of cool to see. If you want to sponsor that, he's got some things where you can jump in on it to maybe put in a little bit of funding into this for a giveaway. Money will come back. It's all explained on his page. If you're interested in having some fun, joining Pokemart's live stream, jump into his Discord and definitely look at that part of it that's in his announcements. Definitely read through it. Sounds like a fun opportunity. Like I said, if you just want to have some fun here on Black Friday, I know for guys, most of the people in my audience is male. I 1.2% of you are females. So for most guys that are at home watching their kids, that are potentially just sitting at home waiting for the wives to come back from, Black Friday shopping, or waiting for their girlfriends or their significant others to get back, great opportunity. Maybe just jump in, have some fun, and see what happens on these marketplaces, especially leading off of doing that. Might be a lot of fun. So check out Pokemart USA. Definitely check it out and see if you'd be interested in it. And hey, if you don't want to be interested in it, you can definitely just watch it happen on Pokemart's live stream on Friday. And he'll announce some times and stuff when he gets a little bit closer to the end of the week here. So other than that, guys, hopefully this is some good information. Hopefully you can see what's happening with alternate arts. Like I said, I put a couple of graphs in on this video. And since I moved this video ahead, I just made this video quick because of Pokemart doing that. I want to give it the most time for him to be able to get people that maybe want to join in and donate and actually be part of this. I moved this video ahead, and then my next video that's going to come up that's already been recorded will be released then. And that's what changes do you think we should have on Scarlet and Violet, and what I think we should be changing on Scarlet and Violet going forward, and some things that we should continue to do as we go into Scarlet and Violet from Sword and Shield. So other than that, guys, if you do like this information, as always, be sure that you hit that like button. Be sure you hit that subscribe button, especially if you made it this far into the video. And last but not least, if you do like this kind of content, check out these two videos up over here. I will put them up for you for your entertainment and information afterwards. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.